Here we are, my first bike I purchased after I did my CBT. It's a Mutt Mongrel. It's one of the early models, like 2016, 2017 at the max. Got it for 1,500 quid. This is me commuting from North London down to South East London. You can hear it rattling, going over bumps. Suspension was pretty awful on it, and nuts needed to be tightened up constantly or glued together at the end of it. The person I bought it from just left it outside, didn't cover it. It was so rusty. Yeah, and obviously I was riding this thing pretty much non-stop in pretty much all weathers as well. So this is me going up Shooters Hill. As you can hear, no power, engine struggling. But hey, the bike burnt me up. I think the HP was just under 12, like 11.8 or something. Obviously there's a lot faster 125s out there that can really, hit like 80 miles an hour plus, I think. But I just like the styling of this at the time. One thing cool about it was it did like the fact that it had a gear indicator on it. So this is me heading towards the Blackwall Tunnel, trying to get speed up before I merge. But yeah, as you can see, it hits 50 and it just doesn't go much more than that. I think I've got about 60, just over 60 on it. I'm not a heavy person at all. But it did what it said on the tin. It just got me into biking, enjoying it. Did have a bad experience on it once. The drive chain, like I had my chain replaced, and then the hub that keeps the wheel turning, that's attached to the cogs, the cog, it snapped. So although I was revving, it wasn't spinning the cog at the back. So I was doing like 50 along the same road, a bit further up, and it just went, and I was just coasting. And I was in the middle lane. It was quite scary. And then I had to walk it all the way to the Mutt shop in East London. That really did piss me off, actually. Anyway, live and learn. And that's the rust bucket itself. And then, yeah, passed my full test, and I think within a week I went and picked up this beast. As you can hear, it ain't working. It broke down on the way home, and then I think I wore the battery out, or it hasn't been used enough anyway, so went in, charged up the battery. But yeah, it's a Honda CBR 600F 1998. Picked it up for 1,500 quid, which is ridiculous. No, 1,200 quid, sorry, which is ridiculous compared to the Mutt. And yeah, I was a little bit silly this one. So this thing had like just under 100 horsepower. Sounded absolutely lovely. It was terrifying me. So this is basically me taking it back to who I bought it from, the original owner. As I said, it broke down twice within 18 hours. Was not happy, so luckily enough he took it back for me. I think there was some more problems with it. There was some cracked fairings. It had dropped basically, and I think it had been left on its side for a while, which is never good for a motorbike bike. But yeah, I wanted to go touring on this. Like, I wanted to buy basically a touring bike to have a pillion and go see Britain, but unfortunately I wasn't happy with this, so I just wish I went on faster roads before I took it back. It was that sound of it, just amazing. This is only like at 3,500 miles or whatever. Probably just going a little bit over 30. But I couldn't take it for a longer ride either, because all this is on the petrol stations where there's no petrol in England, especially in London. Either you queued for hours or they weren't open. Which this is what's happening here. And that's what she looked like. Up with an old courier bike, not from an old courier, but like the classic courier bike from the 90s and 80s, Kawasaki GT550. As soon as I got on this bike, I just felt at home. I think it may be because it was a little bit like Mutt, in the sense that you were sitting on it, not in it. And it wasn't as scary as that Honda. You could pull on the throttle and it wouldn't freak you out too much. But this is immaculate, this bike. I bought it for the same price as the Honda as well. I think it had like 15,000 miles on it or something ridiculous. Kept by an ex-biker, as in the sense that he was actually a bike mechanic, sorry. And everything just, it's immaculate. It was like all stock. It was his old man's. Nothing had been messed around on it. It was perfect. Every time I went to get an MOT or get an oil change or whatever, just always had compliments about it from every mechanic I ever bumped into, basically. But yet again, this thing was like pretty heavy. It was over 200 kilograms dry, I think. And with 2 plus luggage, you start feeling limitations on it. And without fairings as well, after an hour and a half, 2 hours on the bike, going over 50, you really do feel it in your shoulders and your neck. I'm sure people say, oh, you could do blah blah blah, but seriously, I went all the way to Norfolk on it one day from London, and my shoulders were beat at the end of it. As you can hear, this is, me sort of putting it down, and this is a 2 up, and I think you're doing like about 65 something at 6,500, 6,000 miles. And the fuel economy, as soon as we went over that sort of 5, 6, oh, it just ate it. It really did consume quite a lot. But totally changed. So I did like the squareness of it, the sort of 80s design. It's just a shame that it became a write-off due to an accident I had. And there she is, in a beauty. So I just had an accident. Got paid out, made a little bit of money on the Kawasaki, and ended up buying this, which it's got the fairings, a little bit more power. It's a BMW F800ST. This thing is just, it's unreal. I'm still trying to get used to it. Or still being blown away by it, actually. Bought it from that super bike factory, and it has some bad things about them, but I still can't find a fault whatsoever in it. Good things about it, it's light, it's got 85 horsepower, It's a parallel twin. I haven't felt that much vibrations at all. I think I've felt it at about 60, 65 and 6, but if you start going over that, it disappears for some reason. It's belt driven, which is absolutely crazy, but I just came from shaft drive, so anyway, you know, pretty much similar without the weight. Fuel economy is just ridiculous on it. I think it's 65 miles per gallon, 60 or 65 with Mutt Mongrel. Heated grips are standard. It's got ABS. Onboard computer is pretty cool. Tells you how much until you go fill up. Temperature outside. And the fuel tank's underneath you, so the front bit is just an air vent to keep everything cool. It does get a little bit warm, I found, which is nice during the winter, but during the summer, I find it a little bit, you have to keep your legs off the actual frame. Neutral's been a funny one with me on it, depending on what shoes I'm wearing. Sometimes I find neutral really hard to find. But besides that, the fairing, just the way it works, is just unreal. I will do a full-on review of this because there's too much to say.